6 months! 6 whole months, and her contact was still blocked. I stared at my phone screen, the familiar ache in my chest a constant companion. The noise of Lekki Phase 1 traffic filtered through my apartment window. The blare of horns, the rumble of a distant danfo, the low hum of my neighbor's generator. It was supposed to drown out my thoughts, but it only amplified them. Amaka. Her name tasted like ash. Every sunrise, every sunset over the lagoon brought a fresh wave of that gnawing confusion. I thought I knew love. I thought I knew myself. But she left me with nothing but questions, echoes in this city that once felt so vibrant, so full of possibilities with her by my side. We met on Hinge, believe it or not. I was in Lagos. She was finishing her master's in London. Her profile popped up full of smiles and pictures from vibrant European cities. We talked for weeks, long calls late into the Nigerian night, laughing at silly things. When she flew back for a short break, the connection was instant, electric. Her name was Amaka, and her eyes held a spark that drew me in. Our first date was at a cozy spot on Victoria Island. I remember the smell of ocean air, the subtle scent of her perfume. She had this way of making me feel like I was the only person in the world. It felt real, incredibly real, despite the kilometers between us. We agreed to be exclusive, even if no official label existed. But then she would fly back, and the distance would begin its slow, insidious work. Our trip to Obudu Mountain Resort was supposed to solidify everything. We walked the canopy walkway, the world sprawling beneath us, talking about our future. It was there, amidst the clouds and the fresh mountain air, that we had that argument. I remember it vividly. I said emotions were a gift, what made us truly human. She, ever so practical, thought life might be easier, more efficient, if we cared less about feelings. I watched her face, a flicker of something I could not quite place. Fear? A wall. She loved my cat, Kiki. Sometimes, when school overwhelmed her, I would bring Kiki over. I saw how she softened, how she cherished that small, furry creature. I tried to make her feel safe, to show her love in every way I knew how. Maybe I tried too hard. You can offer someone love, but you cannot decide if they are ready to receive it. Whenever I flew back to Lagos or she returned to London, things changed. The calls became shorter, her replies slower. Sometimes she would just stop. I would spend days staring at my phone, wondering what I did wrong. The only way I could get an answer, it seemed, was to fly to her, to see her face, to understand. It felt like I was constantly chasing a ghost. I remember feeling hidden, like our relationship was something she could not fully acknowledge to her friends abroad or even her family back home. Meanwhile, my own life in Lagos was becoming a mess. My job in a tech firm in Yaba suffered. My focus was everywhere but my work. My stomach churned with anxiety, leading to constant health issues. The only steady thing was Kiki, my cat, curled up on my lap, her purr a small comfort in the growing chaos. She first brought up breaking up in January. My heart dropped faster than a danfo speeding over Third Mainland Bridge. We talked on the phone for 4 agonizing hours, her voice distant, mine pleading. I knew I had to go. I booked the next flight to London, almost emptying my account. I needed to fix it. We spent a few days together walking through Hyde Park, sharing plates of jollof rice at a Nigerian restaurant in Peckham. We talked through everything, or so I thought. She seemed to soften, to let me in again. We had a few really good days. Days where she was the Amaka I fell in love with, warm, engaging, present. I convinced myself, foolishly, that we had saved it, that we had understood each other. I flew back to Lagos, a fragile hope blossoming in my chest, a hope that would soon be crushed. We could not fix it. The distance returned, colder this time, heavier. I made one last desperate trip. I flew back to London, praying for a final conversation, some form of understanding. But this time, she would not see me. I stood outside her apartment building in the biting cold, my heart hammering against my ribs. I picked up my things, a small bag she would left for me by the entrance. Inside was the birthday gift she would bought me months ago, still unwrapped. I left the gift I would brought for her, a handcrafted Nigerian leather wallet I would picked up from Balogun Market. It was a silent, agonizing exchange of unfinished dreams. Then, the next day, it happened. My calls went straight to voicemail, my messages undelivered. I was blocked everywhere, just like that. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. Back in Lagos, the city I once shared with her memories now felt suffocating. Every street corner, every scent of suya from a roadside vendor, every sound of a bus conductor shouting, "Oh, Shodi!" brought her back. The anxiety was a physical weight. My health problems worsened. The constant churning in my stomach refused to subside. Work felt impossible. Graduation was looming in December, and with it, the uncertainty of my visa status. Would I stay in Nigeria or try for another international opportunity? Job hunting was a blur. Everything was piling up. I would find myself walking aimlessly along the beach in Elagushi, staring at the waves, wishing they could wash away the questions. What were we, really? Why did she hide me? The memories of her loving touch clashed violently with the cold reality of her final silence. The ghost of our love haunted every waking moment. One evening, I met my good friend Femi at a buka near Yaba Underbridge. The air was thick with the smell of pepper soup and the chatter of evening crowds. I poured out my heart, the whole messy, confusing story. Femi listened, nodding slowly. "Omo, Tunde," he said, sipping his Chapman. "Some people, they want love, but they fear what it costs. They fear depending. Her wahala no be your own, a beg." He paused. "You tried your best. That is what matters. You offered love openly. If she was not ready to receive it, that is on her, not you." His words, simple and direct, hit me. I looked down at my plate of isi iwu, seeing not the food, but the face of Tiki, my cat, waiting for me at home. She was a constant, unconditional. I was not ready to forget Amaka, but maybe I could start by forgiving myself. I still do not have all the answers. The ache has not completely gone, but it is no longer a constant scream. It is a dull hum, a reminder. I started focusing on my visa application, the job hunt, my graduation coming up soon. I am learning to grieve not just her, but the idea of what we could have been and the belief that my best should have been enough. Maybe closure is not something someone else gives you. Maybe it is something you find within yourself, a quiet decision to move forward even with unanswered questions. The Lagos sun still rises, vibrant and unapologetic. And as it casts long shadows over Lekki Phase 1, I find myself looking forward, one slow, hopeful step at a time. Kiki still purrs on my lap, and that, for now, is enough.